Welcome back to the GSL Code A, Artosis and Wolf. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. That was that last game gave me a weird, funny taste in my mouth because I really wanted to see like how it would play out in a more normal situation, where Flash is like just like preparing appropriately for abilities up against. Because I want to see if it would actually work. I think
you don't want to go head-to-head with him in like a regular macro game with a lead, generally.
Very
few players want to do that.
I just want to see like if Flash could have held that like with Widow Mines and like additional bunkers, and like how like viable is that build really, or is it just totally relying on Flash not knowing what to do? I feel like it wouldn't work against Flash if he just made Widow Mines and a few more Marines and got a second bunker up and repaired. I don't know.
I think it was going to kill him no matter what, is my gut feeling, because I look at like how quickly it hit, and his add-ons had just finished, and like he was basically already broken through the bunker.
He was going to lose workers by...
two things came out of the factory with the reactor. It's like you just don't have enough units. I don't want to say it was 100% a build order loss. I feel like a lot of times there is a way out, but it felt like a build order loss, at least to some degree.
I totally see what you're saying. I just really want to see it with Widow Mines, see if they pop out fast enough. Can he like hold in the recover? Because there was no speedling follow-up really. You know, it was just Roaches alone, and then like he had slowlings he could make.
Yeah, it was pretty all in. But you know what? Hydra chose some good builds. He's a very strong player as well, and he definitely played like basically a perfect game after the first one. You know, after that first all in that he did, or not complete all in, but you know,
timing
he did a lot of damage with it and just followed it up wonderfully. Very strong player going in that winter match.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And now this second match has my most hated player ever going up against Panic.
Yeah, so why don't you tell everybody about why you hate him?
He's Shine. He plays completely wrong all the time. He is the most cheesy, aggressive player, and he just does things that, like, a lot of people remember the quotes, like especially Hydra's very well known for it. I've said it quite a few times. A lot of top players have said things like this in the past. You only beat me because you're bad. That's like Shine's motto. Like, he will do the worst thing he can. Like, he will sometimes look at a situation and be like, what is the worst thing I can do right now? And then he does it, and you don't expect it, and he kills you with it. And it, like, in theory, nothing he does should work, but it does quite often. He's quite an accomplished pro at this point.
He's probably the only player who would, in this matchup, hope that it's close positions on the way station.
Oh, yeah.
He's the only one who hopes that it's close positions right now.
You know, that's one of the nice things about a player like him. Like, the map doesn't matter, the positions don't matter, because he does so much crazy stuff. Also, he was a 2 basic Mutalisk user in StarCraft 1. That's another reason why I don't like him.
Well, I will always just say, man, Shine will 6-pull your mom when she's playing the game for the first time.
He doesn't care.
He's just, he's ready to do whatever it takes to win the fastest way possible. He's a very predictable player as a result, and Panic has had some games to study and research for him. The same could be said, though, of Shine, who could look up Panic's games, and Panic's PvZ is pretty terrible, so... I'm going to have to be honest, like
I think that
his group
Hydra's going to get out in first place today.
I think so too, man. Panic's group that he played in Code S, he just played like he was supposed to be in Code A against the Zergs he played against. You know what I mean? Like,
last season?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched and I was unimpressed. Unimpressed to the point where I don't remember the games. And that's pretty rare with me. I remember a lot of games of StarCraft.
Yeah.
So... I don't know. We'll see, man. Obviously, he's back here. Maybe he's improved a lot. We didn't get to see anything of the Code A quals this time, so let's see it.
Map is Way Station. I saw it on the Korean preview. It looks like it's going to be short spawns here for this Protoss versus Zerg at the GSL Code A. I love that song. So good. This is... Forgot I have to intro the players.
Sorry, I was blowing my nose there.
Thanks
for the spoilers, by the way, on the positions, Wolf. Not everyone gets
Does anyone else
that.
think, I mean, that Wolf shouldn't tell us the bottom left in red?
Sure.
I don't know about We should have a spoiler-free version of the intro where I don't have to hear Wolf talk about the positions. They should have that on the website. Why don't they have it?
Oh my. All right. So, what's that say, Wolf?
I can't read it fast. Something about getting coffee. There was like one part of the top I just couldn't read the handwriting. I'm really bad at reading Korean handwriting, and I'm even worse at writing.
Yeah, stylistic Korean can be very difficult to read.
Like, that's like my weakness, man, in Korean. I just can't write like ever. When I go to the bank, they're like, "Oh, can you write all these things?" And I'm like, "Can you write it for me?" And they're like, "Why? What?" And I'm like, "Can you just write it for me? Like, I'll tell you what it is, and you can write it." And they're like, "Oh, your Korean's really good." I'm like, "No, just can you write it for me though? Like, I can't actually write. Like, it will take me 20 minutes to write my address. Like, can you just do it?"
Huh.
Oh, he needs pause.
Uh-oh. What's this mean?
Well, he didn't build anything, so
might have to be a restart or something like that. Maybe his keyboard broke and now everything's late. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually,
let's relive some of our least favorite moments of Shine games. One of my least favorite moments, I believe he was against Squirtle on Red City, I want to say.
Red City, yeah.
And I believe it was Squirtle. It was his EVP. And the Protoss was making a lot of Void Rays. He had a lot of Void Rays. A lot of Void Rays. So Shine made 50 roaches. He had no anti-air. Just 50 roaches, sent him at the third Nexus. Everything was out of position just by this much, and the Nexus died by that much. And Shine went on to win that game. One of my least favorite moments.
For me, I didn't like it when he 6-pulled my mom. It was kind of messed up.
Yeah.
I was like, "Listen, Shine, you can help my mom play?" And he was like, "Yeah, he's a goofy, like, shy little guy." And he comes and sits down on the computer and 6-pulls my mom.
He's like, "Wow, she's bad."
My mom's like, "Why are these things attacking me?" And she like didn't know how to build her first probe. And then Shine just got up and left my house without saying a word. And then I heard that he posted on the internet and bragged about beating my mom with a 6-pull.
Probably did.
Really didn't like it. That's my least favorite Shine memory.
Yeah. Oh, man, there's a lot, aren't there?
Well, I want you to. What is your?
It's actually. Here's the thing, though. Like, I kind of like watching him play people because I want to see what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
But it makes me angry every time it works.
Well,
I'm like, that's not supposed to work.
Every game needs a villain, right?
Yeah.
I mean, every
The thing is, I
story
think
needs...
I'm the only human that actually sees him as a villain.
I see him as
if Hydra was still heavily into StarCraft, he would totally be like, no, this guy's villainous.
Well, Hydra would probably just say he was bad, and like everything he does is bad.
But
like in a calm voice.
If I asked him to describe him as villainous, he would do that for me.
Yeah. Well, I thought we had like the game up for a second behind us. I looked down and I only see the Korean commentators behind me, and Ikkun is being enthusiastic as usual. But I don't really see him as like I don't have like any hate for him or any dislike for him. I just like I like that he is a player who will always be aggressive, and it's always amazing to me when you have a player like this who always is like super aggressive or like half the time all-in-y and still successful.
Yeah.
Because it's like you put all of your eggs into this
It's very rare to get one like that.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think that there's like there's a lot of players out there that are just always aggressive. It's just
Hydra is actually pretty much like this.
Yeah, that's true. He's a very aggressive player as well. Hiva, another one that's been quite successful. That's very aggressive. There are
MC,
some
you know, like
yeah. Generally speaking, you look at his games. He loses more of the macros and wins more of the aggressive games.
Yeah.
It takes like you have to have a little something extra being aggressive, right? Because like people get to practice against aggression all the time. It's more limited in its options.
Yeah, and it's I feel like if you only do aggression, it's predictable. Like, but if you only play macro games, it's like, well,
that's predictable as well.
It's predictable, but at the same time, it's like, well, if you only play macro games, can I try to punish you for playing macro games? Like, it's kind of like in the case where we saw Hydra kill Flash, like when Flash was going CC first, like that was him getting punished in some ways, right? But like, it's harder to punish a player like Creator for just playing defensively in macro all the time because he's just so good at it, and it's like the standard way of playing StarCraft 2.
The best to like, I think Maru did it pretty well against Rain, the way that he punished him in that finals, the OSL finals, where Maru ended up winning because Rain always played a defensive macro style, and that became very predictable. And you see players after a while, they do have to switch it up some. Like we've seen recently Hiva do a little bit more of macro play. We've seen recently like Rain mix in a little bit more aggression as well to kind of fix that. But anyways, here we are. Game going once again.
So I don't know what the problem was, but I'm sure it's fixed now. That's all I know.
Yeah.
He's going to go hatch first, like, and into pool. His hatch was, like, a little bit late. Like, it was at 314 minerals when he paused it. So, like, you know, probably, like, a second or two late, but nothing too big.
Yeah. Well, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's not an LZ Gamer hatchery, at least.
Explain what that is.
That is, back in StarCraft 1, all the media guys used to practice with LZ Gamer a lot, and he was so into micro. He was such a micro-based player. He's actually a lot like Shine, to be
I know this
frank.
story. Yeah, actually I know this.
He would micro his drones so heavily against your SCV that his hatch would come up at like 350 or 400 miles. But he'd kill an SCV at least, I guess. So, anyways,
He's I've been playing a lot with him in Heroes of the Storm.
That's good.
He's still around. He's still playing pretty good games.
He's the sweetest guy.
He's really nice. I like him.
Not as sweet as Machine, but he's very sweet.
I never tasted him, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, you got to do it. So I mean, right now we actually have Shine. He's mining gas, fully auto one geyser, but he already has speed on the way. So this already is a little bit weird. Yeah, this is suspect. There's no question. Oh, a Roach Warren. Well, can't say I'm surprised about this.
Like I said, man, he was hoping for close spawns on Waystation.
Yeah.
He's like, Panic will try to play a macro game. I'll stop that.
Well, it's a gateway expand. He's getting a stalker right now. I wonder about this because he doesn't have a forge, so it's not like he can make defensive cannons.
Yeah, if he doesn't make a forge at all.
And he needs a wall-in, obviously. Like, as soon as that... The probe is going to die pretty soon here, I would say. Let's take a look. Okay, it's... Queen really wants it to duck in here. Thing is, Panic is actually being really smart by not trying to duck in.
What is this? There's super fast immortals, it looks like. That could be the way he holds
this. Well, this is going to be an immortal push, which on these spots, it's not going to be something too odd. But here we go. It's now time to produce, but we don't have a full wall. Okay, he's starting to make the wall. That's very helpful. But
the key
with
is
no
to protect
cannons
the immortal.
behind, like...
Oh, what?
Uh-oh. Bad manner.
That was weird. Anyways, he cancels to get the probe out here.
Now he sees speed. That's an awful quick speed. Gotta start wondering already about what's going on here.
Well, he starts this. Oh, he cancels the sentry. That's
one thing we do have to. Oh God! One thing we do have to mention here. I mean, not Tasteless, but Wolf, is that the Wallin is pretty far from the Nexus, so Nexus Cannon not going to help at the Wallin. Like, if he doesn't lose this Nexus, I'll be super impressed.
This is like something Shine has clearly done on the ladder several times. Like, here we go. He's going to actually target 2 different pylons down, so that I like that because it means that he has 2 different ways he could get in. It means 2 force attempts to get dropped here, or at least needs a re-wall.
That means that these gateways aren't powered, which is even more important.
That's true, Artosis, and here we go, he gets in. Nexus Cannon is active, but the Nexus is so far away he can actually just find his way into the main base here. That Immortal is so important, he has to keep that alive, and the probes are going to do a decent job of that.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're surrounding it, but with the Lynx
coming up. Oh god, the Lynx get in anyways, though, yeah. Well,
17 probes left. This is already looking pretty unwinnable. Did not target the Immortal on the Roaches, which is also a mistake. But he's already dead, basically. Like 14, 13 probes left.
And he's just going to keep pushing it. The Nexus Cannon is going to run out soon. He can start killing that Nexus. And the fact that the Immortal is dead means that... Well, actually, it doesn't really matter too much because it's only going to be Speedlings from here on out. He's not going to walk any more slow Roaches across the map. Nexus Cannon is done. He like knows the exact timing.
No, he does. That's so funny.
He like walked towards it as
you can tell what he does in practice.
Yeah, he knew before the cannon was done firing that it would be the exact moment to run in. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That is nuts,
It's just like when you control your mutas, you know how long it takes to kill the medevac, and you switch targets immediately. This is the same type of thing. But it's cool to see that at least he's very good at what he does.
He is professional on Tosis.
And I mean, this is pretty brutal, right? He's got twice the drone count. He's taking a third. He's re-droning up now. That he's going to kill his
Sentry needs to get back up the ramp.
Oh, well,
he's going to fight
and
with
little
probes.
did he know that he was going to leave him alone. Shine was ready to leave him alone after that Nexus kill.
Well, that's game, obviously. Doesn't take a scientist to figure that one out.
God. Lots of one-sided cheeses today, Wolf.
GG. I love this guy. I know you hate him, but I guess we have to be polar opposites on this.
I guess so.
I love that he is just not afraid to do it. Because the thing is, like I said, Panic is terrible at ZVP. Look at his face, look how angry he is.
He's like, oh, he cheesed me. never thought he'd do that.
The thing is, against Shine, you should probably make 3 blind cannons at the front of your wall. You absolutely do not want to do a build where you skip the forge. Like, what was he thinking?
Well, if you do, you have to... I don't know, you have to figure something out here. It was a tough game. He chose a build order, and Shine, the way that he went about it, like he stopped the scouting. He did show the speedlings, which gave like a tiny advance notice. But I guess you have to, because you know a probe's coming out at that point, right? You don't want him to see the roaches, rather have him see 2 speedlings and roaches halfway through the map. So, I mean,
if he
Shine controlled the situation very, very well. Controlled the information.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way for him to really see the Roach Warren.
And where that wall is, and the Nexus Cannon can't help, that's a tough wall to hold.
Yeah,
How are you supposed to hold that wall with a gate expand?
I don't think you can. I mean, against that type of build.
Yeah, against that type of build, the wall at least probably should fall.
The thing is, this map is really not that figured out yet. It's mostly just ladder and in-house practice these players are playing on, which, because it's never picked ever, no race is picking it. Except that one time when Journey picked it.
Yeah.
It's basically one of those maps where I think if you're practicing, you just are probably thinking like, all right, I'm not really thinking about this map all too much. They probably don't practice on it as much as the other maps, and they just prepare a best of 1 build for it. That's why we see Immortal all-ins, we see Roach all-ins on that map a lot of the time.
Yeah. Well, here we go to Frost. It's a bigger map, going to be harder for Shine to do anything that cheeky.
Yeah, looks like Panic's trying to hide on the other side of the map. Let's find out if Shine can get a 2-0 lead here. Jump into that winner's match.